Larry, good to see you. We are diving into the headlines today. A popular financial guru proposes an 8% withdrawal rate. We're going to talk through whether that is realistic. So, recently, Dave Ramsey, who is a well known financial expert, dismissed the common advice to withdraw only 4% of your retirement savings annually as, quote, moronic. Instead, he is advocating for an 8% withdrawal rate. Of course, the financial world exploded after this advice. What do you think?
Well, Aaron, I believe that Dave Ramsey does a lot of good things for a lot of people that helps them kind of craft what a budget needs to look like, how not to overspend. He's in my backyard here. He's in Nashville, Tennessee, is where his main office is. So, but I disagree 1,000% with what he said. Is that's just too much of a general answer. An 8% in many cases would completely decimate someone's portfolio if they had just one bad year.
Yeah, it's a headline that grabs your attention, but not necessarily backed up by the math, which we will get into. So, Ramsey also recommended that retirees invest all their assets in equities. Wouldn't that be exposing retirees to a lot of risk and market volatility?
Yeah, Aaron, if that worked, and then no one would ever, there wouldn't be so many people struggling to make ends meet in
Yeah.
retirement. They've lost too much money and they're afraid of, the number one fear of retirees is run out of money. There'd be no problem if that was that simple, right?
Mhm.
But there's just way too much risk when you think about taking out, 4, 5, 6% of a portfolio, and then you're down 20, 30% in one year. You have completely decimated your portfolio. Not to mention, if you're pulling out maybe $40,000 out of a retirement portfolio, if that's what you're needing, you can't take out about 25 the next year if you use that same withdrawal rate if you have a big loss. So way too scary. One mistake like that, and you could be going back to work.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when could an 8% withdrawal rate be sustainable?
I'm not sure that it could ever be sustainable. If you could guarantee 10, 12%, certainly even if you can guarantee 8% in a portfolio every year, then you could achieve that 8% withdrawal without any fear of running out of money. But frankly, I've never seen a situation where you could. There is some bucket strategies to where you can maybe have a little bit more aggressiveness in one of the buckets to
Mhm.
try to pull out a little bit more, but you still got to be prepared to take out less during a time of downturn. So I really don't have an answer for that, Aaron. I don't see a time where that's a normal process that we'd be able to pull out 8%.
Right, good point. Because the market does not move like this, right, Larry? That's a good point.
Does not.
So the general rule of thumb is a 4% withdrawal rate, but even this number is under debate. Why?
Well, back in the day when bonds even now, bonds are a little higher right now. If we have some fixed interest, it's maybe 4 or 5%, so this is a little bit easier to achieve. But back a couple years ago when rates were down 2 or 3%, usually bonds were helping push that 4% along with equities, maybe a 60-40. So you could achieve that 4% and pretty much maintain your standard of living. As the markets are up and down and the bond rates are up and down, that's a harder number to achieve. Sometimes you can take out more than that. Sometimes you have to look at less. It really depends on your own particular situation.
hmm So then, brass tacks, Larry, what percentage are you recommending to clients, and how often are you revisiting that number?
It's something probably needs to be revisited at least once a year, if not twice a year. But frankly, everybody's number is different. I've got some people that, frankly, have saved that IRA money or that non-qualified money. They've got into the go-go years or the slow-go years. They're not using as much as they thought. They really do not need to even take out that 4%, other than preparing for required minimum distributions down the road to make sure that that's not too heavy in taxation. But there's others that, frankly, could use that 8% that Dave asked for. Their portfolio just can't sustain it. So I would say that everybody has to be looked at individually and calibrated based on what their needs are to help achieve that.
Yeah, I guess that's not as, eye-catching as one headline. There's no one rule for everybody. But Larry, if somebody would like to crunch the numbers with you and find their own unique withdrawal rate, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, they can call our office and come in at that phone number is 615-216-1048, or they can go to our website and sign on for an appointment, and that's www.sfawealth.com.
Great. Larry, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.